Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
There's no job too big or too small for Gonzalez Lawn and Landscapes. Owner Chris Gonzalez works hard to make your commercial or residential properties one of the neighbors will envy. You won't find a lower price anywhere else, and that's a guarantee. We offer mowing, landscape removal, small construction jobs, and more. Our team is licensed and insured to ensure the best work for Lawrence County and surrounding areas. Your satisfaction is our goal. We won't leave until you're happy. Call today to set up a free quote.
Make your property rock and roll with services from G&S Excavating, specializing in white sand, compost, mulch, topsoil, landscape gravel, and steel landscape edging. Turn to the pros who know how to make your project shine with years of experience. The best part is they're locally owned and operated. Choose from a vast selection of mulch and rock from their conveniently located facility at number 3 Valley Road in Lawrenceburg, just off Buffalo Road. Phone 931-279-3841 and get started today.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
A moment in real estate with my dad, Jeff Hood.
You know, I get asked a lot about what the market's going to do. How's the real estate market? I've been selling real estate for a long time. And nobody has a crystal ball. And you know what? When it's your time to buy or your time to sell, it really doesn't matter what the market's doing. It's your time, and you have to do something maybe. What makes a difference is the agents and the experience that go to work for you. We're Keller Williams Hood Company, located here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We can help.
Hood Company, powered by Keller Williams, the #1 name in real estate.
There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-Service Towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down. Or their 24/7 availability, you can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody here to X Sports Today. Bryant, Gobble, Michael Marks. I'm AJ Good, having some few laughs, quoting some here. Let's get a game on here. Quoting,
I had to pause. I forgot to hit play again.
Speaking of Tropic Thunder, we were quoting some Tropic Thunder. Not going to fully quote what we were saying off the air, but yeah, just guys excited about. We're actually going to have some action. I know you guys have done some middle school games. I'm 3 of the last 4 JUCO games I have done have gone into overtime, and the other one that didn't go into overtime, a 3-pointer with 2.5 seconds left decided that game. So if you haven't seen the regulation ending to Cleveland State and Chattanooga State, I mean, it's like watching the ending of one of those 1965 NFL films, Fumblerooski plays, and it ends with someone hitting the buzzer beater to go into overtime. It's fantastic. Please go back and watch both of those games. Really great action from both sides. Really enjoyed it. But, guys, finally getting back into the flow of things tonight. Lawrence County is at Giles County. Loretto and Cascade are at Loretto tonight. Summertown, I think, already had the night off to begin with. And they've had to switch some things around. We could have more weather on the way. I mean, it sounds like I'm back in West Virginia or back in living in central Pennsylvania again. Here we are, like, oh, we've got snow, except, just slight difference. And again, this isn't a northerner. Even though I don't consider myself a northerner talking about the South. But, you've got New York who got like a foot of snow and they're back. They get a day off and they're back in. And we've been out and our roads have been clear since Tuesday.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
The main roads. I
Yeah.
will say that. The main
I say
roads.
I would say 43 all the way north and south. Pretty good. It's just everything else is still.
Yeah.
A lot of people
I
sent out
had a
power,
clear
yeah.
trek to Cleveland last night. Then again, the majority of that was it was
64.
all interstate except for that massive hill to get up to Cleveland. But then, hey, the GPS took me a back way this time. Way safer, way less dramatic, and I don't have to cross 7 lanes of traffic. It's great.
That's always a plus.
Yeah.
Did you see how many views the post of Sergeant Ellis got on the weather page? Like millions of views, because people were so fascinated with our reaction to ice on the roads and just having this state trooper, this police officer, like talking in such a southern accent, and like fascinated people. It kind of broke. Kelly and I were talking about yesterday. It kind of broke containment of our area, and people in the north were just fascinated with how we were responding to the snow and the ice. It blew up.
I will say the Southerners handle heat better than Northerners do, even though our humidity up there is freaking insane. But it doesn't compare to Florida humidity or certainly Georgia humidity or the humidity we can get here. But we handle cold way better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Way better.
And see, I used to like sit in line for basketball games all day in the cold, waiting for a ticket to a Tennessee game. Now, if you catch me outside and it's lower than 50 degrees, something might be wrong.
But it takes I don't know, whenever it gets as cold as it did over at the first of the week, it makes today, when it's 34 degrees, whenever it's just about freezing, it doesn't feel that bad. I'm like, wow, I don't need extra layers. I can just put on a normal jacket and I'll be fine. So
it's the wind that gets you.
Yeah. No,
it's
it
not
does.
the actual weather. If it's windy, that's what gets you.
Yeah.
Oh, the wind chills tomorrow don't get above zero. It's crazy.
It's a great time to sit inside, watch basketball, or if you're a wrestling fan, the Royal Rumble's tomorrow. It's at 1 o'clock because it's in Saudi Arabia. The only good thing about it being in Saudi Arabia is we get it in the afternoon instead of getting it late at night.
I thought I'd be disappointed because when they went to Riyadh this summer, I think the show started at 11 or something like that. It was really early, and I felt that watching a big event like that early in the morning would kind of stink, but getting it at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're done at 6 o'clock, and then you can enjoy some primetime sports, whatever else is going on.
I've got so many great things I can watch after this. I don't have to
it's not just go to bed
my whole day around this one thing. But guys, let's get into the high school action tonight here quickly. Starting first in Lawrence County at Giles County. Girls looking to go for the regular season sweep here. The boys trying to kind of avenge what happened. They had a guy go off for 45 points in case an hour. The girls, their district is very weird. You got one team, Tullahoma, sitting there up there at 3-1. Giles County's at 2-1. They have yet to play Tullahoma. Giles County, who lost to Lawrence County. Lawrence County, who this was right after the Tevye injury, got just decimated by Franklin County, but Giles County beat Franklin County.
Yeah, because everything makes sense.
And then you got Marshall County, who's down at the bottom. No offense to them, it just is what it is. And Lawrence County, who should have beat Tullahoma, outscored them in every quarter except for the fourth, and unfortunately they got really outscored in the fourth and lost that game. Their district is just wide open. You play good on any given night, you've got a chance to win, and you probably will win.
Yeah, I mean, you put together 2 good weeks. That's enough to get you probably second or third seed in that district. It's just super tough, and that's going to be the challenge for both Lawrence County's boys and girls is consistency, finding consistency, because it's hard with younger kids to try to get them to put 2 or 3 good games together. But again, this is the time when you need to start doing it. And against an old foe in Giles County, somebody that you have been a bitter rival with for seems like forever, it'd be a great time to get one of those big games.
For the girls, it'll be interesting to see because they're playing the Giles County girls are going to be facing almost a completely different team and matchup than what they saw the first time because, as we've mentioned before, 2 of Lawrence County's contributors are out with an injury, and I don't think either one of them are coming back this season, right? So the girls' game, I think, will be interesting to watch, and I'm really intrigued to see how our girls continue to respond. I think they've responded well in the wake of those injuries. I'll be ready to see if Giles County attacks them in different ways, tries to coach around some of the injuries that we have. The boys, on the other hand, man, I want to see a fire in them tonight. They need to come out and be like, man, we let one get away, and we know we can beat these guys. We just can't let the same thing happened that we
Right.
did back there. We controlled the game. We dominated them for most 90% of the game, and it was you let one guy beat you. So I want to see the guys come out with a little attitude, a little toughness. Hopefully the referees don't get in the way of them being able to be physical and really take control of the game.
They didn't last time.
I don't think that. Yeah, they didn't last time, and I hope that isn't the case tonight because I want to see the guys come out with some fire in their belly and take Giles County, to the woodshed, if you will. Like they can do that.
Well, and the biggest thing about that is Lawrence County hasn't played in 8 days,
Right.
so they've had time to fix things, to move things around, and try to draw something up. But again, if Howard goes for over 40 again, it's going to be a long night for the Wildcats.
I don't know. There comes to a point where like you can let him get his and try to shut everybody else down.
Yeah.
And
But
I think
that's what they did.
That's what they. There were still I can't remember there were still a couple of guys that went off a little bit more than, and I think they could have contained them a little bit more. I can't remember their names, but I don't know. It just seems like you could still let him get 20, 25 points, and you could still take care of business with him still scoring.
Yeah, all right, and then we got the girls for Loretto and the boys taking on Cascade. The girls, tough game. We know how good Cascade is. Cascade shot a lot of free throws the last time they played. Boys took care of business out there.
I think that this favors the Lady Mustangs a little bit because, one, they don't think they should have lost that game out in Cascade. It was a 2-point final score. I believe it was 57-55 or somewhere around there. But the free throw disparity was huge. It was, I believe, 39-11, 38-11, and can't let that happen again. Watching Cascade, Keegan Young, number 22 for them, is really where most of their offense comes from. The matchup with her and Allie Augustine is going to be fantastic tonight. Augustine and Sophie Weathers both averaging 16 points a game. That's big when you can get two of your starters to go back and forth like that.
I remember Coach talking about that free throw disparity. Now that you said that, so that was the Cascade game. Well, yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
And on the boys' side, it's kind of this was a turning point, I'd so to speak, for them. For Colin Wilkerson, he had, I believe, 23 in that game, along with the buzzer beater, and kind of similar with the girls. If Wilkerson and Tidwell can work off of each other and keep and see, Cascade's kind of the opposite of Giles County. It's Giles County had one guy that did everything. They were really all of their starters scored at least 7 points in that game. It's going to be interesting to see how that matchup goes because the Mustangs have also switched their starting lineup up since the first time they played. Should be a good matchup, both boys and girls.
Guys, let's switch to some college basketball here. How about Tennessee? Back-to-back wins against really good teams. And if it wasn't for that, just complete meltdown against Kentucky, they would have won 4 in a row against quality competition right now at this point. And they're kind of starting to prove to everybody why everyone had them as touted as they are. And then, coming up, they get their best friend, Stephen Pearl, coming up on Saturday night in Auburn. But this team is starting to kind of turn a corner here.
Yeah, they had a rough stretch. They beat Houston, which I didn't see happening coming into the season. Then they lost 3 straight, too.
Houston only has 2 losses.
And it's to Tennessee and Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Since then, Tennessee lost to Kansas, who has gotten a lot better since then. Syracuse, and I'd like to forget about that one. Illinois, a top 10 team, a 20-point win over Louisville. And SEC play has been extremely tough because you don't know how good anyone is until you actually get into conference play. But the lone SEC loss for Texas A&M is against Tennessee. But then the next game they blow a 17-point lead against Kentucky, looking for some consistency. But it seems that they found it, scoring at at least 79 in their last 4 games.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot better. I think that comes along with the freshmen that you are paying millions of dollars to play for you. I think that comes. You're playing well comes along with him playing well. He's scoring the ball more confidently. He's playing a lot better, and that's really helped. Because really, you don't really have a lot of scorers on the team. Like Jacoby Gillespie can't do it all. He can't. He's not supposed to. He's not built to. He's a good player, but he's not a great player to be able to take over a team. So you needed someone to come alongside Gillespie, and you still really need. Me and Michael were talking about this yesterday. Well, you still really need another scorer to come along to maybe give you 8 to 10 points a game, and we've seen that with Bishop Boswell. Yep. You've seen flashes of that. It'd be great if he can continue to kind of give you, maybe 2 3-point shots a game, get to the free throw line and shoot 5 or 6 free throws a game and make those. If you want to get me fired up, you talked about Alabama game last week. I I was fired up and mad about that. I don't know if y'all have talked about that this week.
We have not yet.
But man, I could stand up on this table and scream at the top of my lungs. It wouldn't make any difference, but it'd make me feel better. I was really upset about the Bediako thing. I still am. I think it's just a bunch of it's a mess. It's very indicative of today's college game, and of course, his first game that he gets to play is against Tennessee in Tuscaloosa, and they went down there and smacked him around, and that had to feel good for the guys. I was really excited and happy for them without that. Get an overtime win against Georgia. I almost said A&M. They went to overtime against A&M. They did win against them. Yeah. They beat Georgia at Georgia. That's got to be good. Any SEC road win is good. Georgia was ranked not too long ago. Just last week.
They had just fallen out of the rankings.
Just fallen out of the rankings. Yeah. So I hate Stephen Pearl. Let's keep that rolling. Yeah. Let's beat the snot out of him and continue to keep the momentum going.
Hey, I'll never forget his senior year at Tennessee, 1.8 points per game. What a guy.
I hate that guy. Gosh.
Well, guys, to the women's
Nepo
side.
baby. Big nose.
Hey,
Nepo
that team
baby.
had Tyler Summit on as well, so.
Whatever.
We saw that one. Women's side of things, guys, they're just one loss in the SEC has happened to come last night where they just looked awful at home against Mississippi State. And their next 3 games, Sunday at number 1 UConn, then they're at Georgia, out South Carolina, all 3 in the top 25. And they, from here on out, they've only got 2 games against teams not in the top 25.
Yeah, you're looking at the month of February for the Lady Vols at UConn, at Georgia, at South Carolina, your first 3 games. And then a week later, you're home against number 4 Texas, at number 17 Ole Miss, at number 10 Oklahoma, at number 6 LSU. I mean, you'd think they could get one of these games at home. But, they looked really poor last night, got out-rebounded big time. And that's kind of something with their play style that's going to end up happening. But it gave Mississippi State too many extra shots, and they were able to cash in. Lady Vols did not shoot great last night.
You hate to see that they lost against Mississippi State, too, going into the UConn game. Like, you wanted as much steam, full steam ahead, and this kind of takes a little bit of the wind out of your sails. Maybe that's good. Maybe they need a wake-up call. Maybe this can serve as a wake-up call, and they'll get the weekend to kind of figure out what went wrong, to practice, to refocus before this long stretch. But I was really hoping that the UConn matchup could be, built up again and maybe get some old classic feelings back again. And losing Mississippi State puts a damper on that.
Hey, Lady Vols had lost 3 of their last 4 heading into that game last year when they won. So, and that UConn team won the national championship by like 40.
Yeah. And it's crazy. They have played the second least amount of games in their conference. Only A&M has played less. A&M's 8-9. They played 17. The Lady Vols have only played 18 games. And you look at everyone else, 23, 22, 23, and they've only played 18 games. I don't know if that was on purpose or had some things
because looking from they did not play a game from December 22nd until New Year's Day.
Wow.
I feel like you can't go 10 days in college basketball without playing a game. But listen, I think that this team has shown some steps, and listen, that game Sunday against UConn is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, guys, we haven't had a chance to talk about this. I talked about with Taylor. I don't know how much you know about what's going down in the AHSAA right now, the public-private school split. Just your all's initial thoughts of what's happening in that.
I'll let you go first since you live in Alabama, have a little more.
Yeah, I mean, I taught at a private Christian school in Alabama for a year, and really 2 years. I substitute taught, was around football and basketball program a little bit for 2 years, and I see the purpose, and really I guess all this goes back to, I think it's also intertwined with like the school choice decisions that are being made that recently got passed up here in Tennessee. I think they're just now getting to where they're about to pass that in Alabama during this legislative session. So all that gets tied into it. I'm unfamiliar getting into the weeds of all that, but I can see just the negative side of how it will hurt smaller schools that are already struggling, like the one that I taught at. Because not all private schools are made the same. Right. Not all of them have the same resources. Some of them are barely getting by, fielding a team of 22 for a football game, and you got to put 11 on the field. Yeah. Some of them might even have 15 to 18 guys, and you got to play both ways, right? And the same thing for basketball and volleyball and all these different things. These students are really trying to keep up with the different sports that they're in, and then they got to go face a bigger school that has a roster of 50, whatever. And then it's just, there are different advantages, and whether you want to acknowledge them or not. So I can see this being hurtful to the smaller schools. I get why they're doing that, why they're doing this and going that route. I just don't like lumping all the private schools into one umbrella.
Because I would say, I think in Tennessee, is it 2 or 3 different classifications? I know at least
they've got like a private school, even though there's private schools in the main like Division 1, but
there are like a Division 2.
There is a Division 2, and there's 2 divisions within the division
that are like bigger and smaller schools.
It is. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just for postseason play, though, right? That they're having for regular season.
They can still play.
They can regular season,
postseason,
and region or area, whatever they
and
call it.
I think it's just for football to start off.
Just for football, and so the regular season they can still go out and play whoever and schedule whoever they need to.
But we're talking like your region games.
Yeah.
But your area games, your region games in the postseason, the games that a lot of these private schools really focus on, because a lot of these private schools are built off of athletics. Like people go to private schools, and so, man, that's going to affect a lot of people, a lot of jobs. It's going to be crazy.
I would say, I think like most big changes in sports, it's going to look rough for maybe a year, maybe 5 years. But I think that in the grand scheme of things, that this is a kind of a beta testing, so to speak, and that they'll evolve it and change it as it needs be. But I think it's a good time to kind of start to advance, I guess, into the future.
I think the thing, and I think it affects everybody, because now some of these public schools who now seeing their regions change, because they used to have private schools. Like there's a couple that I've read about, just across the state. They're like, now instead of like playing these private schools that are 10, 15-minute drives for region games, now we've got to drive 2 hours for region games, or an hour and a half. Like we're kind of used to it here for us with our teams, and with Loretto, Summertown, Lawrence County. Like our shortest district drive is tonight. Our second shortest district drive for basketball is 45 minutes, and the other 2 are hour and a half. So we're kind of used to that. Alabama isn't necessarily used to that. They do have more high schools than we do, but I think it affects everybody. And instead of like trying to find a working solution, they just went to no debate. We're just going to split. There wasn't. I don't think this was well fleshed out, well thought out, and you didn't need to make this now. You could have thought about this and worked on this for a year, and maybe implemented it next year.
Yeah, that I don't like just. Here's this, we're implementing it now. I like, this is probably a dumb example, but when they put a new stoplight, traffic light up, they have it wrapped in that the black or whatever, just so you can get used to it being there, and then you start looking for it. Let the people get used to something, and then maybe switch some things up. I just think maybe a clean break like this is a bit sudden. Because, like you mentioned, now there are teams that one of our games was 20 minutes away. Now it's 2 hours away. It sucks, but it's something that we have to deal with up here.
There's only 1-2 private schools in the Shoals area that have a football team.
It's Mars Hill and Shoals Christian.
Mars Hill and Shoals Christian. Covenant doesn't have a football team. So there's you have to go to Huntsville or Birmingham
or Montgomery,
Tuscaloosa area, whatever, Gadsden. I don't know, all those places. That's just an unfair advantage. I'm thinking for maybe people who are listening that are familiar with Alabama, like that's like asking Zion Christian to go play Brentwood or Battleground Academy, Lipscomb, like some of those bigger schools. Like that's just going to be an unfair match. It's going to be crazy.
It's very unfair. And you think about it, like not only does it affect your travel, you're spending more. Now, you're having to pay for, instead of that 20-minute drive where you can just bus them up, drive them back, and then, now you're having to pay for food, and then that's more gas. And then, and when those other teams have got to come from 2 hours, they're not going to bring as much fans. So now that affects your game at the end of the day, because, administrators love talking about that game.
But it affects a lot of people, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some schools that have already struggled to put together a football program just cease to do it because it's not worth their time anymore. They can't.
They should have really fleshed this out instead of, okay, this is just what we are. These are the 2-way blah blah blah. It's almost like they voted on it, then they like, all right, let's get all the teams, let's get all the maps, let's draw circles. Okay, that's what you get. It just felt really rushed.
It was. I agree. And again, I wonder how much this is tied into some backdoor politics that's going down in Montgomery that's tied to the school choice bill.
Yeah, and that has to do with it. Well, these private schools can recruit. I'm like, guys, everywhere I've worked, the public schools are worse than the private schools.
Yeah.
Especially in our area.
Nobody's hands are clean.
Nobody's hands it's kind of like how Ed Ogeron described NIL. It went from walking in the back door with the money to the front door.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, the private schools ain't the problem in this area, because when's the last time Columbia Academy took a Lawrence County kid?
Yeah, it's
been a
it
while.
doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
I think of it happening at like maybe Loretto a couple years, 10, 12 years ago, but it's not something that happens now.
No, they're taking Columbia kids.
Yes.
Murray County kids and Williamson County kids. They're not dipping in here anymore. Our problems are within each other and other counties, neighboring counties. Well, coming up next, guys, we haven't had a chance to talk about the championship games, and then we'll discuss some of the other things going on in the world of sports when we return here on X Sports Today.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes. With coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision, Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
Are you looking for the perfect refrigerator? What about a new stove or washer or dryer? It only makes sense to shop at the one place that specializes in appliances, top to bottom, big or small. And that's Kelly Appliance in Lawrenceburg. Kelly Appliance is home to all major name brands, including LG. LG makes life good with a full selection of refrigerators, cooking appliances, dishwashers, microwaves, and more, including appliances made right here in Tennessee. Family owned and family operated. Stop by Kelly Appliance on Jerry Street.
At Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, we're proud to be locally owned and operated because we're not just a bank, we're family. When you call, you'll be greeted by a friendly representative who's ready to discuss your banking needs, as well as offer our competitive rates on CDs and money market accounts. Our loan decisions are made in-house and never sold to a secondary market because our commitment is simple. You matter to us. At Lawrenceburg Federal, we offer all the conveniences of larger banks with a personal touch. Join us at Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, where community, trust, and service come together.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
Make your lawn a legacy. At Legacy Lawn and Landscapes, we put more than 16 years of experience into your goals. We won't meet your expectations, we'll exceed them. We offer consultation, installation, maintenance, hardscapes, construction, and land clearing services. Owner John and Jamie Brewer with their team are dedicated to providing the highest quality landscape services to commercial and residential clients in Middle Tennessee. Service, teamwork, results. That's how you leave a legacy.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. Brian Gobble, Michael Marks. I'm AJ Good. Guys, before we get into the conference championship games and start breaking down the Super Bowl matchup, we've had some head coaching hires. Starting first is down the road, Robert Saleh, new head coach, Tennessee Titans. You guys look pretty pumped to bring Saleh into Nashville.
Well, and I think maybe even the bigger hire was the fact that you got I get didn't go great this year, but you got a head coach, a guy that was an NFL head coach this year to be your offensive coordinator. Yeah. Brian Daboll with a young guy like Cam Ward, I think the sky's the limit with that. But I think Saleh was an awesome hire.
I think I'm excited because he's just well respected around the NFL. Like, everybody says good things about this guy, and I think that he was vindicated that things are going poorly with the Jets. It's not like it was his fault. It's just a terrible organization right now. He didn't have a great quarterback situation. You know, he had the weird Aaron Rodgers thing. Aaron Rodgers getting injured, Zach Wilson having to come in. That just was just a dumpster fire. But you know what was pretty good? Their defense, it wasn't bad during that time. And so, yeah, you had Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner, but guess what? We have Jeffrey Simmons on the Titans. So if he can do a lot with a little like he did with the Jets defense, then I imagine he'll be able to really build something with the Titans defense. And offensive side of the ball, he ain't got to worry about a dang thing. He says, all right, Dayball, do it. You remember what you did up in Buffalo with Josh Allen? Go do that. We got a guy named Cam Ward that's similar archetype. Go do the same thing. Get this guy serviceable and get us to where our offense can move the ball down the field. Our defense will hold on to things. I am pumped. This is a great hire.
And I think the best thing about this, they have a crap load of cap space too. They can go pick up some guys. I'm not sure what free agency is going to look like this offseason, but you got the money. Go bring in a wide receiver.
Well, you definitely need a wide receiver in Nashville. You need, there's been rumors about Juwan Jennings potentially coming back, signing free agency. Well, whatever. I think you need somebody more than Juwan.
You need a
like
true number one.
Juwan's great, at the 2 or the 3, but you do need a true number one. Whether you find that in the draft or not is a different story. But you need a true number one, someone to complement, Alik Ayomenor, if I said that right, and Chimere Dike. Like, those guys are young and good, but I think you need some veteran experience. I also think you need to bring in another running back. I don't think Tony Pollard, he's fine. But I think you need another good running back if you're wanting to establish a strong run game and take some of the pressure off Cam Ward's shoulders. So, and this year's free agent running backs is a lot of great guys like, Travis Etienne and
Najee Harris, Austin Eckler. These are just
Najee Harris and Austin Eckler worry me a little about injury, but Breece Hall is also a free agent for the Jets, so maybe Breece Hall reignites his relationship with Robert Saleh. So there's some pieces, but you have the money, you have a top draft pick, you have a general manager that has his head screwed on straight, it seems, and you have a respected coach that's coming in that's new. You have a new stadium coming in next year. It's hard not to feel good about the direction the Titans are headed.
Yeah, looking at the free agency, wide receivers at least, some of the top guys, Mike Evans, Deebo Samuel.
Old.
Juwan, Christian Kirk, he's 30.
Old.
I would say I'm not saying
former all nursing home team. We're talking about the young guys here.
I would say I think the youngest guy that's somewhat serviceable is Rashid Shaheed. He's 27.
Hey, I've been on the Rashid Shaheed train for a few weeks now. Like, I was like, this guy is a difference maker, and he's proven to be a difference maker. He's about to be a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, George Pickens. He's young, but also probably a head case.
Yeah.
So it might be a rough. But hey, make a trade.
Or draft.
Yes.
Just draft.
Or draft.
Draft.
Yeah. Do the draft. That's normally a pretty good way to go in the NFL. Other head coaching hires in Cleveland, Todd Monken. He is taking over for now Pro Bowl quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Biggest joke ever. Unless they must have just asked a million guys to be in the Pro Bowl, and everyone just said, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to play."
The Pro Bowl is no longer a stat that you can give when trying to boost someone's resume because of just the slop that it is now. Like Shedeur Sanders getting in, Snoop, Tyler Huntley getting in. Like those guys do not deserve to be anywhere near a Pro Bowl, but they put them in anyways. So. Hey, maybe Kevin Stefanski wasn't as bad as we thought. He developed a Pro Bowl quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, right?
Oh, I just think it's funny. Emmanuel Ocho. I don't know if
Oh,
y'all.
yes. I was getting ready to bring that up.
Okay, perfect. Because as soon as you mentioned that, I had to bring it up. So it's on, I guess, his podcast, and he was talking about why should Shedeur Sanders listen to Todd Monken? What have you won in the NFL? Well, he coached the NFL MVP. Two-time MVP last year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he threw more touchdowns than interceptions.
Josh won it last year. I think Lamar won it 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then national championship winners at Georgia.
I wonder how long the list was and how far down Monken was on it because you kept hearing people withdrawing their name out of the head coaching race. Like Mike McDaniel didn't want to sniff Cleveland. Like he's like, I'll go be a coordinator somewhere. And I don't know who the other guys were, but I saw at least 2 or 3 guys that are like, I'm withdrawing my name from that. So I wonder like if Todd Monken was like the 2nd or 3rd, or more probably the 5th or 6th guy, 7th or 8th guy down the list that they were trying to hire. So I don't think he was first choice, anybody's first choice by any means.
Well, he was the offensive coordinator on the 2019 Browns team that went 6-10. So there's a little bit of somewhat positive Browns history.
Good for him.
I mean, they won.
He was at least in the NFL before. It's not like he just came from college to be a coordinator and he never had an NFL experience. I'm a little more worried. Are you about to go to Joe Brady?
Well, I was going to get there. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to get there. No, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm a little more worried about Joe Brady because Todd Monken had a little more NFL experience.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Brady was just like an offensive assistant or something in the NFL before he was at LSU, and that's when he really caught fire. So the Bills, I'm a little more worried about with a young guy with lack of head coaching experience, lack of really just substantial NFL experience from what it looks like on paper, right?
And then, he had Joe Burrow at LSU. And then he gets the OC job when Matt Rule takes over in Carolina, and those offenses were not
terrible.
Nope.
And then he takes over in Buffalo, and who do you have? Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Well, so and I think it's funny that those Panthers offenses, you had either Baker or Sam Darnold as your quarterback, you had C-Mac as your running back, and then you had DJ Moore in your wide receiver room. How were they awful?
I don't know. Who was the head coach at that time?
Matt
Rule. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Rule just wasn't a great coach. I feel like you can definitely fall into a top 15 offense with Josh Allen, quarterback. And so I think maybe he's a prodigy. A lot of people want to go around saying that he could be like Sean McVay, right? Maybe he's just some prodigy that's going to set the world on fire and take the Bills to their first Super Bowl and start this dynasty over the last half of Josh Allen's career. I want to think that because I want to cheer for the Bills. They're a fun team to watch. I want to see him get Keon Coleman going. I want to see Josh Allen win one because, they're just a likable team. But and you kind of feel sorry for their franchise because they have just had miserable experiences in their history. But at the same time, it's like, is this the guy that you want to follow, Sean McDermott? You're really rolling the dice with this guy. It's a real risk. I think one of the high ceiling, low floor kind of thing.
I think that one's a total, just a what are you going to get from him? Because you really could get the next Sean McVay, or you could get another Josh McDaniels.
Or you can get the next John Harbaugh. Remember, he was just a special teams coach with the Eagles when he got hired by the Ravens.
Sure.
And they got a championship and multiple playoffs and MVPs and a rock-solid defense for several years with that guy. So, it's just like drafting number 1 overall and drafting a quarterback. You just never know what you got until you actually get it. So,
that's true.
And how many slam dunks have we thought we were getting and they didn't turn into much.
Yeah, a lot of whiffs.
Every Alabama assistant that came to Tennessee.
Well, guys, let's break down the games from last Sunday. This time a week from now, we'll be giving our predictions for the Super Bowl. But starting first with the AFC, it was a beautiful, not a cloud in the sky game that midway through the third quarter, it turns into a blizzard. And the one spot, 10-7, I know I think they broke the record for missed field goals in the championship game, but the one spot and it's really sticking out to me. The Broncos have the ball in the second quarter after going down the field and scoring. They go right back down the field, and they're inside the 20, and Peyton decides to go for it. They get stuffed, and they never score again, and they could have gone up 10-0. And I think at that point, because your defense was playing so good against Drake May and the Patriots, that you hampered yourself. Because the touchdown was set up by a bad Stidham turnover, which I felt like he was pressing at that point. And the Patriots had one decent drive the entire game. Yeah. One. And that led to a field goal because the touchdown was set up by the fumble.
The fumble.
So, it's the playoffs. You have a chance to go up double figures. You have a great defense. Take the points.
Yeah, and especially in a situation where you got a guy that's not supposed to be out there playing quarterback. Because there was nobody that if you told the Denver Broncos they were making the AFC Championship game and Jared Stidham's their quarterback, they want to know what universe they're in. Because he was not supposed to be the guy out there. Obviously, Bo Nix goes down at the end of the game last week. And I actually think Stidham did a fine job. Obviously, with the conditions in the second half, it would have been tough for any quarterback to try to win that. But man, honestly, it feels like New England escaped this one.
Yeah,
I agree. You can sit here and nitpick the field goal, kick field goal, go for it on fourth down. I think you should have kicked the field goal, I guess, with all the circumstances surrounding it. Like, did the coaches know that weather was coming in, that was going to start being real tough conditions in the second half? I don't know if they knew that or not.
They had to know.
I feel like you have to know that. So.
Because that wasn't just like a little pop-up.
With that standing in your mind, that definitely tells you to kick the field goal more. Definitely the way your defense was playing, the way you kind of stymied the New England, the run game, the pass game, like they didn't really move the ball well. I think it was said on the broadcast, like Tony or Jim One said, with points at a premium, it really feels like they should have kicked that there. But at the same time, I'm like, man, if they get a touchdown here, like going up 14-0, man, that is a knockout punch. Like that would win them the game. So I guess you, instead of, I don't know, I guess it just depends on your mindset. Like, are you going to try to win the game right there, or are you going to try to not lose the game and just extend it and continue to stay in the fight? Because it did feel like just a gut punch whenever they didn't get it. And then whenever the second half came, as soon as they missed the field goal in the snow, as soon as I missed that one,
it was over.
It was over. Like that was in the fourth quarter. With I don't remember how many minutes left, but that was in the fourth quarter, and they kicked that one and missed one. It's like they're not going to get another chance with that. That was as good of a chance that they were going to get with the field goal potential in the first half and field goal that they missed in the second half. There's no overcoming that.
Yeah, and the snow conditions were what they were, but they still had multiple chances to kick field goals. Didn't get them. You can't really blame the kicker when, and they called some early timeouts. Like, I didn't think their game management was great. And then, best case, I can't believe he only missed it by what he missed it, because they said the wind was like doing this in there, and he's kicking through all that, and that snow's just accumulating and accumulating. I don't care how big your leg is. That's a hard kick to make. He had the distance, but, they rushed the team out there because they couldn't make up their mind. I think they said his distance was off. Like, he was, like, in closer than what he normally is, and that kind of threw off his timing a bit. It just, you can maybe say that Vrabel outcoached Peyton here, but it's just, I just think this is something Sean Payton is known for, outthinking himself.
And that's what I was just about to say.
The game flow.
I think Sean Payton is too smart for his own good to some degree, because he overanalyzes situations. And I think that's the perfect example for why Drew Brees only has one Super Bowl. Is because I think Sean Payton overanalyzes everything to a degree that he takes the human element out of it.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's I agree. I think you just overthink certain things, and instead of just letting the flow of the game dictate it. And they fired their OC, and we talked about this the other day. Taylor and I did. I'm like, well, okay, you fired your OC, but you're the play call.
Yeah.
Like, why are you firing the guy when you're the guy calling the plays? You're the one that designs the offense. You're the one making these decisions. Why are you firing that guy? Shouldn't you fire yourself?
I would say it sounds like they called everybody into, like, the GM's office, and he goes, all right, you're the offensive coordinator. You're fired.
Yeah, someone's got to go. I'll go him. I call the plays. He can leave.
I I'm just watching highlights now of the Colts Super Bowl. You mentioned Peyton winning that Super Bowl and like Sean Payton winning the New Orleans Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was just crushed as a young one who idolized Peyton Manning. I still do. I love the man.
That was like the ultimate good guy Super Bowl, though.
Yeah,
Peyton versus Drew Brees.
But at the time, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm like, man, just screw the Saints. I don't want to see them win. And
Yeah.
they won. They shouldn't have even won that
Drew
one.
Brees is the ultimate good guy. I got the chance. The Saints did their training camp in one of my markets one time in southern West Virginia. Nicest guy. I mean, he talked to every media member. He talked to every fan. Just a sweet, genuine guy. I had a reporter that the Saints were doing this downtown reconstruction project in the town that they were in, and the guy he's actually a Saints fan, huge Saints fan, interviewed Drew Brees. Couldn't have been nicer. Realized he didn't press record. Drew Brees came back and did the interview again, and the interview was incredible.
Wow.
And Drew was even put his arm around him and was like, hey, dude, this happens. It's okay. Like, I make mistakes. You make mistakes. I'm not upset in the least by it. Like he said, he could not have been greater about it. And I'm like, that just makes you root for guys like Drew Brees.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it does. But other game, guys, way more points in this one. And I brought up the point to Taylor the other day that I think this game was won, and you hear coaches say this a lot, and analysts say it a lot. There's 8 important minutes in every game. The final 4 of the first half.
The first 4 of the second.
And the first 4 of the second half. Seattle won that.
They killed
because
it,
they get, after the Rams get a touchdown with 1:55 left in the half, they go right back down and answer with 20 seconds left. Force a 3 and out. They get forced on a 3 and out. Punt it. God muffs it. They get the turnover. They score again. And it went from down 13-10 with under 2 minutes left in the half to now just 2 minutes and 58 seconds into the second half, you're up 11.
Yeah.
Difference in the game.
And it really was. And it kind of feels crazy to look and say that, respectfully, Sam Darnold out-battled Matthew Stafford in a game to go to the Super Bowl.
So good.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that maybe, because we didn't get a whole lot of Seahawks games around here this year, so I wasn't able to watch them too much. I thought that,
did.
I would say, I thought that Jackson Smith and Jigba's stats were kind of inflated, that he was like the only guy he threw to. That dude's just legit. I mean, it kind of felt like watching that Rose Bowl he had, where it just felt like every touch, he had like 300 yards or something in that game. It kind of felt like that. Puka had a great game as well, and Devontae Adams. I mean, it was just a great game. 2 great quarterbacks, and unfortunately, one of them had to lose. I mean, I would rather watch these two play again for the Super Bowl.
For the 4th time.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, all 3 of them were great.
I think it's been thrown around that this was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, whoever came out of this was going to win.
So New England's probably going to win now.
And then they would play in a another division rivals stadium, so a neutral site.
Yep.
I kept thinking that, man, Seattle, if they just keep scoring, like they had the lead. If they just kept scoring like they did, they were scoring at will for a little bit there, then the Rams couldn't keep up. But if the Rams did get it, if they did get a stop, that they would be able to take advantage and be able to win. But they didn't. They got the stop that they needed. They closed the gap, but they never clutched up when it was time to clutch up.
Well, listen, Seattle got that big lead back, like you mentioned, in that middle 8 right there, and never looked back. Defenses, both teams were locked down the entire 4th quarter, and it kind of felt like you were waiting for somebody to score there in the 4th, because you've seen all these exciting, like the Bears playoffs games, where they're just back and forth in the 4th quarter. This was not the case in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of the way the game went. The Rams had the ball late, only down less than a score, right?
Yeah.
So they had a chance to make it happen, but they couldn't. I hate it for Stafford. I think he's a great player, and who knows if he's got another season like this in him.
Sounds like he is. Sounds like he's coming back. I don't know if he's got another season like that,
Right.
but it looks
MVP
like he's
caliber season.
700 yards.
Yeah. But the Rams are a great team. I think you hit the nail on the head, though. Give credit where credit's due. Darnold is proving people wrong. I sent you guys a message during the game. I'm like, does it feel like Darnold's just been disrespected?
Yeah.
Just not really much has been made of what he's doing. Like last year he's taken a lot of heat over his career, being with the Jets, seeing the ghost. Last year with the Vikings, he had a great season, but what happened? Well, he couldn't win the big one against the Lions, get the 1 seed. As soon as he got to the postseason, he got bounced, right? And so a lot of people were like, okay, this Darnold guy, yeah, congrats. He won a few games with the Vikings, but anybody could fall their way into that. That's been proven wrong because J.J. McCarthy sucks. Their general manager just got fired.
Yep.
And Now, Sam Darnold's over Seattle, winning 14 games again, getting the 1 seed, and going to the Super Bowl. I feel like he's been vindicated.
Yep.
He is a great quarterback, and he has been playing well. Now, it helps to have a good defense. It helps to have a good defense. I will beat my chest till I'm blue in the face that Tom Brady won as many Super Bowls as he did because he had a fantastic freaking defense standing behind him.
Yeah.
And so
it's a team effort.
To win championships, you got to have a team. You got to have a team behind you. So Darnold is feeling the effects of having a great coach in whatever McDaniel. It's not Mike.
It is Mike.
Is it both of them are Mike McDaniel?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Mike McDonald.
McDonald. That's right.
Yes,
I knew it was
yes,
something.
yes.
Mike McDonald. He's benefited from having a great coach, Mike McDonald. Great draft picks that have turned into a solid defensive line, solid wide receiver core for him. But he's taking advantage of what he has, and he's playing really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Any kind of early predictions? We still got a week to kind of dive into it. Because we don't know what the injury situation is going to look like. I'm sure that picture will get clearer the closer we get. But you guys got any early predictions? Week about 9 days away from kickoff.
Honestly, I mean, if you watch the games, it would tell you that Seattle's probably got this one in the bag, which is why I think New England's going to make it a game. With it being on the West Coast, I think that does favor Seattle. It's a stadium they've played in already this year. And for New England, have not really played great outside of Gillette, it feels like to me. And now, given they had to go in Mile High last weekend, going to win on the road again, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Have we looked? I know you guys have probably seen it. Has anybody else seen the Patriots schedule? Throughout this year.
I thought you meant like next week.
No.
As long as they avoid the 49ers practice.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah, next to the power plant.
You talking about this year?
The Patriots schedule for this year has been
Raiders, Dolphins, Steelers, Panthers, Bills.
Go
Saints.
back to the start. Go back to start. Raiders,
bad.
fired coach.
Dolphins fired
coach.
Steelers
fired coach.
Panthers, did they fire?
No, they meant they meant to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, so one playoff team out of the first
team Steelers.
Fired coach.
The Saints were not good. The
Saints
Titans were not good. The
Titans
Browns
sucked.
were not good.
Browns sucked.
The Falcons, they fired their coach.
Fired coach.
Buccaneers were iffy.
Didn't make the play.
They had a blown tire and barely made it to the finish line.
Jets didn't even get an interception this year. The Bengals, the Giants.
They sucked.
Bills.
They were
all right. The Ravens
great.
were
Great. Out of that whole schedule, they played the Bills. Okay.
They played the Bills twice, and they split with them. Yeah. And they beat the Ravens. So
this is my only hesitancy towards wanting to pick New England to make it a game.
Yeah.
They have not proved it. Now, any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. The NFL is a tough league, but
everybody's professionals.
But that is a cakewalk, and they were able to cakewalk through the playoffs as well. Like, that's as easy as a playoff schedule as you're going to get. So I'm hesitant to be a believer in New England until they prove it against a good team like Seattle.
And they're going to have to do it.
They're going to have to do it.
And
they're going to have to do it.
It's going to be good weather conditions. It's not going to rain. It's probably going to be about the 50s. Normal Northern California stuff. Again, just stay away from the 49ers practice.
Don't go to the power plant.
Don't stay away. Practice at Stanford. Practice at Cal. But stay away from all that, and you guys will be just fine.
Hey, tickets only $5,300. Say we make a trip.
I think if we all pulled our money together, one of us could go. But
we could afford to fly one of us out there.
Sure, if they tried to do it at Nissan Stadium, they'd be selling them for $5.3.
Yep.
It's crazy, because the first Titans season in the new stadium's this coming year, right?
No, 27. It's going to be 27. The stadium will be finished February 27.
Because it's wild. Like they're all of a sudden they're packing a lot of events this spring and summer into Nissan Stadium. Like Monster Jam is they just announced a show out of nowhere that they're doing at Nissan Stadium. Like this wasn't originally on the schedule.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here, guys? You're just trying to squeeze every dollar out of that, orifice that you can out there. Well, guys, just one little NBA note before we go. Giannis, once out of Milwaukee, what should the Bucks do? Are you guys shocked after he said for so long that he doesn't want to go?
Listen, I think it was pretty obvious after this past season that if they weren't going to win it, he was going to want to go. And it sucks that he waited till the end, kind of like the middle part of the season to make that choice. But then you look at it from the Bucks side. Well, who are they going to trade him for? Because who's going to want to give away something big enough to get Giannis? Because remember the Luka AD trade that happened in the middle of the night, and AD was still a very valuable piece. But Giannis is another level. I mean, he is a guy that can single-handedly make a team. He's 7 feet tall, can dribble, can shoot, can do it all. Where does he fit? Is the real question.
I think teams are going to be hesitant to take on his contract. Like, he has a hefty contract. I think he's getting paid, $70 million a year, however much. It's on the upper end. You can look that up if you will. So that going along with where is he going to fit? Maybe some title contender that is sitting right at the edge of the playoffs that might want to make a run can sign him. But this is going to be a long-term commitment with him. He is older. He's already 31, 30,
you're going to owe him
$54
$54 million each over the next 3 years.
Yeah, $54 million for a 31-year-old basketball player. That's going to be tough. I don't think the Bucks are going to have a hard time finding a suitor. I don't know. Do they care about trading within the conference? Do NBA teams usually care about doing that? Are they going to trade him to a Western Conference team? Because I can't see.
I think that maybe they would want to do that, but
I don't know. Maybe he would fit with the Suns. Would he fit with the Suns? They've kind of been wondering since that NBA Finals loss. Maybe they could fit with them.
Because I'm looking at teams and who each team could trade for just a one for one. The Pistons, Cade Cunningham, he's not going anywhere. Yeah. The Knicks, Brunson maybe, but I look at, to be honest, value way above Brunson. Boston, I mean, you could try to package something with Jaylen Brown, but with Tatum
again,
out.
That roster gets really expensive with Jason Tatum and Giannis both on there.
Oh, I don't think Boston needs to shake up anything. They're playing great right now.
Yeah, they're doing fine. Maybe the Warriors want to go after him.
Maybe that's where I was just thinking.
They did this last year they're like, okay, let's bring in Jimmy Butler and give this thing one more shot. If they did it last year, maybe the Warriors want to ship off some of their assets, bring Giannis in, and try to get Steph one more ring.
You can't trade Jimmy Butler because he's hurt, right? Is that
some
sports?
I'm playing around on the ESPN NBA trade machine.
Well, Jimmy Butler and Giannis are making the exact same amount of money this year.
Yeah, I don't think they could trade a hurt player.
I don't
know if that happens, but maybe the Warriors do want to make a run. They would have to give up a lot, but maybe it's worth it to the Warriors for one final hurrah for Steph. I don't know.
So what do you guys think? Let's try it out on the NBA trade machine. They're good. The Warriors will get Giannis.
I mean,
I would give them Kuminga.
You got to throw Kuminga in there. And
what about, is this the way they get rid of Draymond?
No, they wouldn't. I don't think they would trade Draymond. I don't think anybody wants Draymond because he's kind of old. I think
so. Most of the likely scenarios, and this is from ChatGPT, so take that with a grain of salt, is Giannis to the Warriors for Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, and draft picks. That's the projection right now.
Kuminga is kind of their only really valuable guy.
Well, and he wants out. So
does he really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
And I think that this would give him a way out, and I think honestly probably helps all parties involved to a certain degree.
So the Bucks getting Giannis. I'm going to put Kuminga. Let's give him not Draymond. How about Al Horford? And then I don't know who Moses Moody is, but here we go.
He was pretty good in college.
Trade fails. The Warriors are over the luxury because it factors in
the luxury tax. Yeah, Moses Moody's on the hook for $11 million. Yeah. So that's a pretty expensive player.
I need to cut $10 million from this trade. That's a lot. Dang.
Jimmy would be a great piece if
they're healthy.
Yeah, if he was healthy, but he's not. I don't know. Maybe it's not. What do the Bucks? Do the Bucks want to be a title contender, or do they want assets? And do they want to try to build like the Oklahoma City?
Okay, so contrary to limitations in video games like 2K, real life NBA rules allow for trading injured players.
Interesting.
So I was going to say I always try to trade injured guys in 2K, and that never worked. But
do the Bucks want to do the OKC route where they traded away Paul George and got all these picks, and it's built this magnificent?
I think they need to.
It worked for OKC.
It worked for them. So are the Bucks going to try to do the same thing?
I think the Bucks need to get rid of Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
And then
if they Doc won that one championship in 08 with the Celtics and did nothing else with them, and everybody thinks he's a great head coach. I think he's really overrated.
I don't know. Do the Warriors have any good picks? I don't know how to see that.
Probably not.
Yeah.
They were too good for too long.
So I don't know if the Warriors can afford without trading away Steph Curry.
Exactly.
But man, if they could work that trade out with Butler and Kuminga to get him, watch out for the Warriors because I mean, that puts them up there with OKC, with San Antonio, with Denver, makes them really scary.
They're sitting like right at about 500, maybe just a little over 500 right now, right at the playoff cut line, 7-8 seed. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking for suitors for Giannis, is like, who's right at the cutoff line that wants to take on Giannis that will really propel them towards the top of their conference.
Because I would say, again, I don't know if there's a team in the East that could take them.
Which I think maybe the Suns.
Yeah.
Well, guys, had a lot of fun here discussing everything. I'm sure a lot of this is going to kind of straighten itself out here over the next couple of days. But when we return, it'll be Super Bowl week. We'll start breaking down everything goes down, and then we'll really kind of start getting in, zeroing in on college basketball, because after the Super Bowl, we've got about a month of the regular season,
talk about
tournaments and March and all that stuff going on. So for Bryant, Gobble, Michael Marks, I'm Major Good. Don't forget to check out Cascade at Loretto, Lawrence County and Giles County, girls at 6, the boys at 7:30. But for now, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.